I'm in an interesting situation where me and this girl used to like each other, but she never wants to settle down with anyone because she's too focused on studies and work in her life. And now we're good friends, but I still like her. Do you think I should continue waiting or hoping? Or should I just move on? That was a question from one of our viewers, and this is a new series inspired by Jay Schlatt's. And I decided that we can talk, you and I, and give some advice that I may have in my lifetime to you, because I'm sure you are also growing up and learning new things just as I am. Now, with this question being said, interesting situation. It's all about waiting, huh? You're asking if you want to wait for her because you still like her, but she's already said she doesn't want to settle down and she's too focused on studies and work in her life. Now, there's a few things here that we need to, kind of establish. Where are you in life? Right? I'm gonna assume maybe you're in high school, college, that sort of thing. It's time to think about where you are in life. Do you have this sort of time to be able to wait for someone? Now, in most cases, I would immediately say no. Do not wait for anyone. Waiting for someone is only gonna waste your time, unless you somehow are psychic and know exactly when they'll be down to do whatever. But in most cases, I'll give it to you blunt and brutally honest, you shouldn't wait for someone. Now, the reason why you shouldn't wait for someone is because, one, I've already mentioned that you will be wasting your own time of things you could be investing in that invest back into you. Now, what I mean by that is, if you're going to invest into someone, and romantically, for example, in this case, but they're not ready to invest back into you because they are studying or not ready to settle down, you don't get any value out of it. Now, there's a certain selfish aspect to this sort of ideology, but it's very important to keep in mind that it's about self-love first. And it's really important to put yourself first in these kinds of situations. The way I see it, put love into things that put love back into you. Now, it could start as a hobby, like piano. I put love into piano because it puts love back into me. It makes me happy. I like playing piano. And when I get better at it, I get happy. Now, if you're going to wait for someone and keep putting, saving all this love and time for them just for maybe a moment of their attention, it's not worth it, man. It's just not worth it. It's important to know when to move on. And in this case, I'm going to say you should probably move on. Don't wait for someone. It's the worst thing you could do. Now, you could go and say, oh, right person, wrong time. And then the next question is, are you willing to wait? And how long? At the end of the day, it's up to you, man. But you gotta be sure to put yourself first, because in most cases, people will not wait for you. And in this situation, it doesn't seem like she even wants to wait for you at all, I'm gonna be honest. But who knows, in the future when you're all graduate or something, and then maybe she has more time. Yeah, it's just a matter of how long you want to wait and if you're willing to. At the same time, though, people can change in a long time. A year can change someone like crazy, right? I could change in a year. I have changed in a year. And after a year of waiting, it's would they feel the same even if they do have that sort of time? It's not worth finding out in most cases, because they could wait 2 years and you could like them for 2 years. And then they say, oh, I have this free time now. Maybe I can settle down. But they've changed feelings about you because maybe they've grown differently. It's very important to take into factors like that. Hey guys, so I need romance advice. Backstory time. At the start of this year, I set my eyes on this one person. Let's call him Skylar, okay? And at the time, it was simple admiration. I wanted to be his friend so badly. He was smart, pretty introverted, but at the time, pretty rude. There was this one interaction with him and my other friend, let's call her Eve. Eve went up to Skylar and asked him to hang out with our friend group because he was sitting alone and he said no. Okay. Fast forward a few months later, we had small encounters. He would give me snacks and I would say hi and stuff until I wrote him a handwritten letter asking to be friends because I was scared of face-to-face rejection and I had my Discord on there. He in fact added me and we started to talk. At first, he was so unbelievably dry it made me feel like I was forcing him to be my friend. Because he was dry, I wanted to distance myself. And then he started to warm up. He started texting first and other things like that, and then I realized that it wasn't a small crush. I realized I was in love. I could go into further details, but I'd rather not type that much if you guys want me to go into further detail. He stays up late to talk to me because he doesn't want me to stay up by myself. He offers to buy me flowers because of my interest in them. He gives me lollipops every single day because I said sweets made me happy. He leans into my touch when I play with his hair. He gives me compliments and sweet treats very often. He gets a bit sad whenever we can't call. He asked me out and told me he'd pay for everything because I kept saying I was broke. Should I ask him to be my boyfriend? Now, this all sounds so sweet, right? You know, started off a little slow, but now you guys are talking and having fun, and he's giving you flowers, playing with your hair. He gives you lollipops every single day. He compliments you. He leans into your touch. He gets sad when you don't call. He asked you out and told you he would pay for everything because you kept saying you were broke. Notice how everything I've read from your text is that he's done all these things for you. Now, it may seem like you are interested in him, maybe, right? I'm going to assume this is like high school, college. There's a lot of things you didn't mention that you do for him, right? Relationships are a two-sided thing. It's not one-sided. It should never be one-sided. I'm noticing that you've said he does a lot of things for you, and that's great. He's showing interest in you, but at the same time, you need to make sure if you want to get into a relationship that you are willing to do the same things, and if not even more back, to show that you care about this person and eventually maybe love them. Realizing you're in love is such a very complicated thing, and I can't imagine anyone here in this person asking, no offense, knows that definition of love. I think he's giving you all of these signs that he's interested in you and wants to spend time with you, right? And you are giving that time back. But just be very careful when you go into a relationship like this, because you need to give back to him as well. And that is one of the most important things you need to ask yourself. Am I going into this relationship for the right reasons, right? You need to ask yourself, do I also want to share my time and day with this person constantly and make them happy as much as they spend time and effort to make me happy? An example of a bad reason to go into a relationship, because I've done this before, is because they give me attention, right? Oh, I like this person because they give me attention. I should date them. No, you're dating for the wrong reason. You are dating because they give you attention. Now, what happens when you're bored of that attention? The attraction's gone. There's no interest. And then you fail to latch onto anything else that keeps you in the relationship, and then you break up, right? It's a very dangerous game. So maybe I don't have enough context here, but it is very important to ask yourself why I want this relationship. Why do you want to go into this? And make sure it is for the good reasons. You want to make them happy. You think that your life right now is going good, and having a relationship right now will also be good as well, because you are in a good mental to love yourself and also be able to love another person. The signs here are great, but just remember to be cautious about why you want this. Should you know what to do with your life by uni? I'm going into uni soon, and I still don't really know what exactly I want to do with my life. Is this normal? And on top of that, should I do something I'm passionate in for the rest of my life, like music, or something that is relatively good paying and realistic? This is a great question, because literally everyone in their freaking lives at some point goes into uni or college or some step in their life where they don't know what to do. It is, first off, completely normal. I was the same way when I was in college. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I did not know I would be a quote-unquote YouTuber. I didn't know I would be streaming or speaking to you guys here. But what I did know, at the very least, is I wanted to do things that made me happy. And I think you should apply that to your situation here. Now, it's easier said than done. Obviously, it's very, very complicated. You're asking, should I chase my dreams during uni? Or should I rely on something that's very stable and get a stable job? My question to you is, why are you choosing between them? You can do both. It is possible. You can chase a degree you know that will do you well, reliably, right? And make you stable, while also spending small amount of time to spend passion time. For example, let's say while I was in school, I wanted to stream, but I couldn't completely just drop out of school and start streaming, because obviously I'm not going to be making any money and I will likely be homeless. But the point is, you can make time if you really want it. If you really want something, you will find time. I don't believe there's any such thing as I don't have time, right? Some people maybe. They really, really don't. But in most cases, it's a time management issue. I used to do all of my homework Monday through Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I would just stream. And that was the only time I had, and I crammed that for about 2 years straight because I really wanted it that bad. I wanted it that bad. Now, in your case, I think it is good to do something stable since you are entering uni. And you may not exactly know what you want to do in uni, but if you're asking the question of doing something stable, I would say start with that. Because at the worst case scenario, you will always have something to fall on. If you don't have a backup plan in life, it can get really, really dicey. You start taking more risks because you feel like you don't have a choice, and then not all of those risks are going to pay out, and that's dangerous. So my answer to you is you should focus on things that you know will keep you healthy, stable, and help you survive. But at the same time, don't forget to make time for the passions that you have. Whether it's small, whether it's just like in increments, it doesn't matter. Because as long as you can make some sort of time, you will have a little bit of that happiness keeping you motivated throughout your life. Like some people are like, oh, I'll just do school forever, every day, no breaks, and then so I can get everything done. But you get burnt out. You will be burnt out very quickly. And I know this because I used to do this with YouTube. And I'm a little burnt out right now. And so right now I'm just focusing on things that I enjoy and love. But there's a healthy balance, right? You like what I'm saying right now is, 7 days straight work and then 7 days burnout, do nothing. Like that's not healthy, obviously. You got to find the time to fit both in a healthy manner. And that's going to be it for this segment video. Leave a comment if you are curious about the future of what this series will be like. Any input, any feedback is always much appreciated. If you have something to ask for advice yourself, join the Discord and ask there. That is where I get these questions from our community.